what's going on, everybody? A brand new episode of the ME Show with your boy Ali Medawi right here at the ME Studios. I'm super excited. Not gonna hide it. I got a special guest all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, in the building. A former collegiate athlete, a trader, an educator, a business owner, an entrepreneur, a speaker, someone who absolutely kicks ass in every single way. And he's the Robin Hood for the little guy and the little gal who needs help in every single day streets. And what I'm talking about is none other than JJ, aka Jamaree James. This man right in here has changed the lives of many individuals who actually lost hope, who lost belief in themselves, who did not think they had what it takes, and they were totally operating with stress, fear, and a whole lot of I have no choice but to just give up and let my money go away. So I am super excited. He actually flown today all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. We've done a lot of work earlier today. Had a mini private group coaching, which I'm super excited about. And of course, we done a couple of reels, which was a whole lot of fun. He told me about all of his pronouns. I'm messing around. He didn't say that. But we are going to chop it up on the cast today. First and foremost, thank you very much. Welcome to Jersey. Welcome to the ME Studios. We turned the studio all red for you just to match the energy. If you already know what I mean. But how you doing today, my guy?
Oh, man, I'm good. I'm blessed. Thanks for a good flight.
Yeah, I'm good. Good.
It was delayed, but, I'm here.
All good. Look, all that matters is that you actually made it in your home. So, you are known as Mr. SUE DAT AHHZZ.
Yeah, I'm a SUE DAT AHHZZ.
And a lot of people at first, like including myself, we thought it was a funny tagline, but it actually is a statement, and you live by that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, before we dive deep into the business side of things, talk to me about the academic side of things. Is this what you went to school for?
So I went to school I went to school for accounting, we'll just say that. So I went to school for accounting. I got like till my junior year, and I was like, I don't want to do this shit. But it was too late.
It was a junior year already.
I was about to graduate. Yeah. So really, I was just like, all right, cool. I'm good at math. I'm good at numbers. So I'm going to stick with the accounting. Understood how the accounting works from the inside, right? Once I graduated 2015, I still had another year to play football. So I started my master's. So I was like, all right, I understand how businesses work from the inside when it comes to financials. Now I need to understand the outside. So I was like, I'm going to get my MBA to understand how business works. Obviously, in the MBA, most of the time you're networking, having conversations with other individuals. So I got to meet with a lot of business owners that were in the city where I went to school and understand how they operate their business. And the biggest thing that I saw were a lot of them had been in the area 15, 20 years, and they were successful because it was a college campus. Not because their business wasn't great. It's just you got to pick the lesser of. If I got a wing shop and I got a chicken shop, a sandwich shop, which one most people want to go to? They're going to go to the wing shop because it's more convenient. It's right there. So I got to see business from both ways. So after that, started in accounting. My first job, I was an internal auditor, so I used to travel the United States and audit credit unions. So I got to see a lot. Right?
I would say that had a lot to do with where you are today as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Early on, it taught me how to get in front of, control the crowd. Because I used to have to, being 23, 24, and I got a baby face, everybody think I'm an intern. So when we get into these exit meetings and I'm sitting in front of the CEO, CFO, board of directors, and I'm explaining to them our findings from the audit, and I'm answering questions, and they're looking at me like,
it's good to be underestimated sometimes. Right. Yeah.
But the statement I always get when I get there is, you an intern? And I'll be like, nah, I'm glad you think that. I'm glad I looked that young, but I'm here to do business, and I'm here to handle business. So that taught me a lot early on, really just how to have those conversations, the tough conversations with C-level clients, and not like be afraid.
Do you look forward to those tough conversations, for the lack of better words? Like, is it, look, there's certain individuals, lawyers or entrepreneurs, they love, bring it on, man. You want to play? Let's play.
I like that because it touches on that my competitive spirit.
I was going to say,
it touches on the competitive spirit because, even with the credit stuff, when we suing debt collectors or I'm suing the credit bureaus under FCI or FDCPA, a lot of them attorneys, no disrespect to attorneys, they feel like they know everything, and I I'd be like, nah, you just know procedure. You don't really know. Some of them know the law and know procedure, but most of them just know procedure. You don't really know the law. So we'll have conversations and they'll be like, oh, well, you don't really have a claim. Okay, cool. That's not for you to decide. That's for the judge to decide. I see in court. Like the whole, you gonna scare me? I'm not going for that shit. And don't let the client go for it either.
I was going to say, it seems everybody on the other side of the equation, the debt collector and, the person who gave that information, they operate with, I'm going to scare you.
Yeah.
And the more I'm going to scare you. I mean, I remember, I told you earlier, we dealt with the IRS trying to undo 3 years of, taxes and whatnot. And, they would send like letters every 2 months. And then my wife would be like, they're saying they're going to revoke passports and they're saying, levies and liens and they're going to take properties on, so we talked to a person, like we're literally in the last 2 weeks of this whole shenanigans. And every time, I'll send the screenshot. He's like, bro, do I have to say it again? I'm like, I know, chill. They're just trying to scare you so you can give up and let them have whatever money they want.
Right, and it's the same thing like with court cases, like people that get sued by corporations for breach of contract. That's going to be their biggest thing. Like if you default on a loan or whatever, all they can really do in court is say, oh, you breached the contract. You signed a contract. You agreed to pay us X, Y, and Z, but now you breached it. So helping people understand, the biggest thing people say is, oh my God, I'm going to jail. You're not going to jail, bro. They can't take you to jail for a breach of contract. You didn't kill nobody. The IRS is not after you. So
and for the record, there are certain cases that people push certain buttons.
Fraud and
before you say I can do anything, Ali and JJ said we ain't going to jail, mama. Let's
some people go to jail for fraud and
please understand.
They're not.
But when you are in, I love how you said it earlier. You said ignorance is $1 billion industry.
Because it is.
When you are ignorant to certain information and all you're operating with is fear, then obviously then you are in the wrong side of the equation. So
in the book 48 Laws of Power, one quote that I always remember when I read that book was, fear creates chaos. Right? What happens when chaos happens? People get scared. So now you're gonna do whatever I tell you to do, and that's what a lot of corporations. That's what the United States. There's a lot of places that operate out of that. They operate out of keeping you in fear, so you do exactly what I want you to do.
Facts. I mean,
so once you step outside of that fear of understanding, like it's not really much that's gonna happen. I mean, there's some things that could happen, but it's not really much that's gonna happen if I don't do exactly what you want me to do.
Yeah. My rule of thumb of that, usually at least for the most part, is if I'm operating with emotion, there's something wrong that's about to happen, good or bad, right? Yes. Like we tend to have the tendency as human beings, especially here in the United States, like we'll buy $1,000 shoe and justify it later as to why we needed to get it, as far as logic. No, bro, like you bought it just because you felt
simple, yeah.
In the same exact way you paid a debt collector $1,000 because you felt scared.
Right.
Not that was the logical right thing to do. So
yeah, for sure.
Do you remember your first case that you...
Yeah, I got my ass whooped.
Okay, so, tell me more.
I'm gonna just be real with y'all. So, and that's why I always talk about like regurgitating information. Yeah. You'll get on TikTok, you get on Instagram, you get on these different social media sites, and you'll see people saying, "Oh, this is illegal," or "You can use this to do this." Da, 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 da. So it was 2020, 2021. Was learning from a certain individual. I'm not gonna name that person, and found out that person had never won a court case. So the logic in me is like, how are you teaching this if you 0-10 in court? You ain't never won. So I was like, nah. It's not gonna work. Because I ended up going to court and losing 3 cases to the credit bureaus, all for the same stuff. So when I lost, I knew what I was talking about, but there just happened to be a retired judge there. And after court that day, I felt defeated. And she saw me leaving. She said, she asked for my name. She's retired in Atlanta. And she said, you know what you're talking about, but number one, you're in the wrong court. You're in small claims. These small claims judges don't understand what you're talking about. So if it's not clear cut and precise, you're never going to win. She's like, you need to be in federal court with these type cases. I was like, okay.
Just a little tiny bit of...
Yeah, she said, you know exactly what you're saying, and they know you know what you're saying, but you're not articulating it correctly. So they're acting like they don't know. She said, you got good judges and you got bad judges. The bad judges are in cahoot with attorneys who are in cahoot with the corporation. So everybody getting paid but you. So if you can't...
Crazy, bro, because, the perception for all of us is the judge is wearing that robe, the judge is solid, right? Nah. The lawyer is loud and has that demeanor, or she's speaking very eloquently with certain ways. must be solid, legit, knows what, you know.
So once she told me that, and I understood that, I said, okay, cool. I said, so from this day forward, any court case that I put on file is going to be straight to the point. I'm going to have all the documentation to back it. And for the opposing party to beat me, they're going to have to come with some shit.
Like solid.
Yeah, it's going to have to be very solid. And you're going to have to rebuttal everything that I'm showing and the exhibits that I'm bringing with it.
So let me follow up on that question. Then how many cases more or less would you say?
It's been 3 years, so we'll just say, I'll say over 500.
Over 500. And if you were to guesstimate your winning ratio,
I'm not gonna lie, we lose. You're gonna lose sometimes because at the end of the day, the judge makes a decision. If we lose, all right, cool. We're gonna file an appeal. We're gonna take it to a higher court, because there have been situations where everything's lined up. We got all the case law. We have all the state statutes to match what's going on, and the judge will still be like, "Oh no, they provided documentation." Well, cool. The state law for this piece of whatever document I brought and the case law that I might be using or the statute that I might be going after states that this is what they're supposed to do. They did not do this. So how did they win? No worries. We'll just file an appeal and take it to a higher court. It's clear you're not trying to work today. You're not upholding your oath of office. Mm-hmm. So if you're not going to uphold your oath of office, I need to get on up out of here. I'm not about to waste my time. So I try to have those conversations with the client up front. I'm like, hey, look, it's not 100% guaranteed, but I'm going to help you to the best of my ability. I'm going to give you every single thing I got. If we lose, we just go to higher court. Some people be feeling defeated, like, oh, I'm going to just pay it. Well, then, hey, if that's what you want to do, cool. But I let it be known up front, like, I'm going to help you to the best of my ability. I'm not going to tell you nothing I haven't done. I'm not going to advise you to do anything I haven't done.
So I'm a double down. Yeah. So what do you think your winning percentage more than half the time?
Yeah, well over 85-90%. Because
he's missing SUE DAT AHHZZ.
It's easy. It's not hard. It's just like writing a book. So you remember in high school or in college when you write a book, they make you do your outline.
Yep.
So in the outline you got your intro, your three, your three.
Yeah. And then your
body to support the three.
Yep.
Basic explaining it, and then the conclusion. That's all a court case is.
Okay, so from what you're saying, then anybody can do this. What you're doing right now.
Time in.
Okay, so
you can't practice law, but if somebody if I want to help somebody, I'm free to help whoever I want.
So here's my question, because it sounds like you're doing stuff like a lawyer would, but you're not an attorney at law. Correct. So what is the distinction? Because I hear that you are going against lawyers and you're going in front of judges. So where, as far as from a legal standpoint, like what is your role?
I can't represent you, but the advice and what we talk about outside of there is between me and you.
And then a power of attorney is covering the transaction itself. Correct. As it happens.
If we go into federal court for
and who communicates with the lawyers and the court? But you're writing it, or
yes, okay, I do all the documentation.
Okay, so essentially, it's coming from me, but you're just helping me out.
It's like a coaching session.
Got it.
So like how you coach people on marketing, it's the same thing. I'm doing everything. I'm telling you exactly these explain.
Follow this script. Make sure if you get option A, here's what you do. Option B, here's option C.
You go to documentation. This is what you need to do. Here are the rebuttals that you might get from the opposing attorney if they're prepared. Most of the time, a lot of them don't be prepared. They be thinking you're just gonna come in there and settle because they say, "Oh, let's do mediation before the case." Nah, let's talk. Let's talk. I'm not settling. I'm not paying you anything.
So. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Because so the biggest thing, Ali, just being real, in most of these cases, breach of contract. You know what they're coming with as their exhibits? They're coming with billing statements. Those billing statements don't got no signature. There's no IRS documentation showing you took a financial loss. So all it is it's
a vague piece of paper. It's really not as strong as it needs to be. It's not say that Ali really did that thing that you're claiming him that he's.
All it is the billing statement.
So and the billing statement is a phase of a year or a lifetime.
Most of the time they try to use the last one to show like that was the last time you didn't pay, and that be in their actual paperwork.
Yeah.
So if I can prove, okay, cool, you saying breach of contract, but where's the accounting records to show this, to back this? Where's the IRS documentation to show that you actually did receive a financial loss? Yeah. Where's the double-sided accounting records? Where's all this stuff that you're supposed to have if you're representing this company? So if you are telling me you don't have the accounting records, you don't have IRS documentation, you don't have anything outside of these billing statements, me as a consumer, I have suspicion that you're not really representing this company. You commissioned.
Which is...
So, and listen now, there have been there have been countless cases where we do a request for admissions, and I've literally had attorneys say, "Oh, this is a practice where it is sold to attorneys and they go after people, but that's not the case in this case." So you mean to tell me that this happens all the time and you just happen to be one of the good guys? Come on, man. Stop playing. Like, they play in your face. People,
no,
like,
I get
exactly.
it.
And that's why I say ignorance is $1 billion industry. And they're going to play as much as you allow them to play.
So, look, I don't have beef with people who say it's them against us, right? My question is, do you think that the system is set up with a bunch of loopholes, and then he or she who knows how to play the loophole is eaten?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Think about, if we even go back to just the schools, right? We've all heard that the education system is built around the Rothschilds, right? Rockefellers. They built it. Their goal was to build it to create more employees.
Which the whole system is built for you to learn how to write a resume, how to apply for a job, and how to follow the system.
And what's the American dream? Family, house, picket fence, 2 cars, whole bunch of debt, if you don't know how to operate the correct way. But there are plenty of people who know how to operate the correct way, and they get their shit and they get out.
So let me ask you this, and you can say I don't want to get into that. Yeah. We got Grant Cardone, who just got brought on board by President-elect Donald Trump to head the Wealth Education Division, to actually include entrepreneurship and wealth building as part of the educational system. You got Vivek and Elon and all these changes that are happening. Do you see, regardless to whether you voted or didn't vote, regardless whether you think Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, do you think these individuals are actually going to go after the they versus us who are controlling the system?
No, I don't think they go after who's controlling the system, but I think they make it easier for those who are trying to do what they do to operate. That's what I think.
And then that's the other side? Like, correct. You think these individuals are going to make it easier for the other side to take advantage even more?
No, I think they'll make it easier for the higher class to continue to do what they do and build more wealth. So it's up to the people who are in the quote unquote middle class and the lower class to figure it out. Okay. Like, people be mad. Like, I try not to get into politics. People are, oh, Donald Trump don't show his taxes. Well, some of y'all favorite politicians don't show their taxes. They know why they're not showing what they're not showing.
True entrepreneur knows that's the goal, is I don't want to put my taxes out there. Yeah.
So when people get into these conversations and I listen, I don't respond because I don't argue with people politics or religion. But I'll listen to what you're saying, and based off your answer, it tells me if you really understand how businesses work. People are, oh, they filed bankruptcy, they broke. No, they filed bankruptcy so they don't have to pay them taxes.
Yeah.
That's why they filed bankruptcy. But because you don't understand how business works, people just say something.
They're caught up on the titles.
Or they just go with what people say. Like, during the pandemic, all the big rental car places, they all filed bankruptcy. Yeah, because they don't want to pay for them cars that's just sitting there because people not going nowhere. That's all they did. They filed bankruptcy. They get to keep all their assets.
Understood. How do we keep our assets and not have to pay for anything?
So understanding that, and then you think about people. I have no problem with nothing that Donald Trump decides to do. I don't care about who's the president. I try to tell people this all the time. There's not a president that's going to change your situation or my situation.
Matter of fact, every president left it worse for the one before them.
I don't get into it, and I know a lot of people, like I said, they get into this or that, and it's like, what's going to be good for you? So I do know that for me, I know exactly what I need to do. And sometimes because people like you, people like me, we have big hearts. We try to take so many people, but shit, we can't save everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to start with you, and then whoever is picking up what you putting down, they come or they don't. Like, we had the conversation about the Jewish community. I literally have traded for a hedge fund, and I had the leader of a hedge fund tell me, he literally stated, he said, the difference between your community and my community is we all work together. Y'all tear each other down. Y'all try to be the big dog over so-and-so. If I got $1 million and you got $1 million, we can come together and go get us some commercial real estate.
And then turn it into 100.
Exactly. Yeah. We can, but we don't do that. My community does not do that. So I try to be different. I try to understand that group economics is the only way we gonna survive.
Yeah.
And it ain't even just a black versus any other.
No,
it's a understanding that group economics is the only way you're gonna be successful. If you go look at the definition of the United States, it said the United States is a corporation. That means that they're a business. So that
capitalistic
means
system, yeah.
That means that they make money, right?
Yeah.
I just saw today the Pentagon failed an audit, a 7A audit. It's $824 billion unaccounted for. Where the hell did it go? They gave it away, but it's unaccounted for. So when stuff happens like that in the government, it's politics. But if it happens to your business, the IRS coming to get you. You see what I'm saying? So understanding that group economics is the only way we're going to get to where we want to be, it's like you got to pick and choose who going with you and who not. Yeah, because you can't take everybody. Some people are cool with just being in the system. Some people are cool with, hey, my life is good. I'm cool where I'm at. All right, cool. No problem, brother. It's not a problem. Yeah. But that's not me. I got bigger goals. I got bigger dreams for myself, my family, and like I told you, generations to come. Yeah. And it's achievable. It's just a matter of hunkering down and figuring out how the hell do I get from A to Z and allowing God to take my footsteps there and understanding that you can't worry and have faith. Word up. All right. We're going to take a little break. After the commercial, we're going to dive into all things from Mr. SUE DAT AHHZZ. We're going to talk about some practical pieces that are extremely, extremely relevant to the everyday average Joe and Joanne you might not know about. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jamaree here. Listen, are you one of the individuals in an underrepresented community, or you operate in a business and you feel like you just don't know what to do? You're struggling financially. You can't seem to scale. You can't seem to get your credit together. You can't do anything to help get you out of the rat race, right? Well, that's what I'm here for. I help underrepresented communities and businesses understand what is their problem as to why they can't scale and what can they be done with their financial situation when it comes to their credit, right? Having conversations with the elderly, having conversations with middle class, having conversations with people who own businesses and people who just have never been keen to the financial information, and being able to help them create a plan, a strategic plan, a financial plan to, number one, get out of debt, to, number one, get some passive income, to, number two, allow yourself to just breathe a little bit, whether that be in business or whether that be in your personal everyday life. If this is you, please reach out to me at jamareejames.com and we'll have a conversation. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you visit that website, jamareejames.com, and get the help that you need. All right, so Mr. SUE DAT AHHZZ, let's talk about, I saw one reel that you have. It's actually pinned where you're sitting on that Lambo, the yellow one, and you're like, yo, yeah, you, get over here. The repo.
That's the McLaren. I thought you
was it the McLaren? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. It is suicide
that's
door.
So,
yeah. So you were talking about, the I wouldn't call it illegal, but a non-compliant repossession process. Right. All right, so let's talk about that for a second, because look, the reality is you didn't pay your car for 3 months in a row. Repo's supposed to come and get it.
The harsh reality is, I mean, some people fall on hard times, regardless of the situation. There are state laws and UCC laws that every corporation is supposed to follow when conducting a.
So talk to me about the process.
All right, so the process is boom. You whatever happened, you didn't pay 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
On that 91st day, they're gonna charge it off.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna tell you, hey, Ali, we coming to repossess it. So what they're doing is they're not only taking the tax credit for it, they're coming to get it and they're gonna sell it. So you're gonna get the tax credit. They're gonna make money off the sale, and then if there's a balance to owe, they're gonna tell you owe it. So you got breach of peace. That's one of the biggest things that happens. So you always have to check what state you're in, because every state has statutes of how a repossession is supposed to go. Right? Every state has it. They got state RZA and state was it HISA or MVISA laws.
But the funny thing is, a quick Google search.
Quick Google search. Yeah. So you'll have some situations where the car will be in your yard behind the gate, private property, and the repo company come get it, and they breach your peace. But because you didn't even go do a quick Google search, like you said, you don't know they breach your peace. Now you can sue the court. You can sue the finance company and the repo company. Listen, the repo company always gonna give the finance company up. They getting the fuck out of there. Excuse my French. They getting the hell out of there. They want zero parts. They don't want no smoke with that lawsuit.
Yeah, because they're usually like a small business, and
right. So you about to shut them down. You about to 1%. I need all that. Right. So understanding that alone, you'll see in certain situations. Like I helped a guy not too long ago. Like I said, it was in his yard, in the garage. The garage just happened to be up. It came out there, so he got in the car. They still pulled the car out of his garage. and I think he was in Illinois. I want to say Illinois. That's a breach of peace. I want to say Illinois. So each state has what's supposed to happen. So in Illinois, shout out to Jen because Jen taught me this. In Illinois, if I get you on that repo violation, you owe me 2 times the finance charge. So if my car was $30,000, I can go after you for $60 because that's what the law said. So then it's just a matter of cool. Let me build out my court case. But that's the fear people had. Like, oh, I don't know what to do. Well, shit, you didn't even fucking try. I can lose a court case and refile. I can lose. Yeah. As long as it's not dismissed with prejudice, I can bring that same claim. I can clean it up. The judge is going to tell you exactly why you lost. Oh, you failed to state your claim. Or, oh, we didn't see enough
because of lack of this document or this document.
Right, exactly.
And you're like, got it. What else do I need?
Right.
Got it.
What I do is I go look up cases where people have beat certain corporations. Yeah. I go look at the filing. I get on Pacer. I go read and see what happened in this court case. Yeah. What did they do successfully to help do it? I mean, to help build their case, or what didn't they do? Because the paperwork is the paperwork. Yeah. So it's just a matter of, do you sit there and take the time to really understand yourself? Or are you kind of just like...
So follow up to that. There's a difference between an individual who's going through a specific hardship and, you know, they just got dealt a bad hand.
Right.
And another individual who's just a sneaky motherfucker. Like, you know, they're like, right. I don't care. I'm just going to try to play the system.
For sure.
Where is your take on, you know, where's the line for you from a moral standpoint? Like, I want to help everybody, but, you know... Like,
once I had that consultation with him, I kind of know. Well, you know that saying, you can't shit a shitter?
But but do you call a bullshitter? Yeah. Like, do you tell them, like, look, man, we're not going to play this game.
Yeah,
like,
you're on bullshit.
Like, are we either going to fix it or we're not? Like, walk me through that. I'm here, like, look,
so man, me and you have a consultation.
I want to get rid of all this stuff and, you know.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Let's role play it. So say what you just said.
So look, I got a car that's like, you know, about to go in repo, and I got all these debts and all this collection, and I see all these Instagram videos on there, like, if you don't got a wet signature and all this, and I'll be honest with you, man, I intentionally opened all these cars and I blew all the money on sneakers, and I want to just do it again. I know I'm exaggerating the case.
Right. So basically, what you're telling me is you did that with no intention to pay nothing back.
No, I did not. I don't care. I don't want to pay anything, but I understand you can get me to do it all over again. Like, you can help me out to get rid of all this debt.
There's nothing I can do for you.
Why not?
Because you didn't operate with clean hands.
Yeah, but does that mean you're discriminating against me?
I'm not discriminating against you. You didn't operate with good hands. I mean, with clean hands. So therefore, I can't help you because I'm not going to be able to build a case because you did not operate with integrity. Now, if you operated with integrity and then you fell on hard times, that's a different conversation than you just saying, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go get all this stuff and I'm good." That's two different things. Because if you operated with clean hands and you tried, we can show cause for that. If you didn't, nah, it ain't nothing.
You know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah. No. I've had those conversations.
There's the person who is ignorant to the information, and there's the assholes like, I'm just gonna file for bankruptcy. You can't come after me, and I'm gonna get somebody like JJ who's gonna just clean it all up for me.
There's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because laziness and
listen. It's nothing I can do for you because at the end of the day, my name's still on the line.
Yeah,
integrity, character, morals. I can spot a shitter. You can't bullshit a shitter. Yeah. I'm a hustler. I know. You can tell when somebody's not. The story got to make sense.
Yeah.
So if I already know coming into this consultation,
especially if you've done 500 cases, you've seen enough to see patterns.
It's been 3, 4. This year 4.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I haven't seen. So we had a conversation. I tell people, just be up front with me from the jump.
Just tell me, like, it is what it is. I'm not going to judge you. I'm trying to help you out. Yeah. So the answer to the question that I'm going to ask is everyone, right? So who do you help? Obviously, everyone who's going through those circumstances, but who would you say that, hey, there's nothing I can do for you? Is there such a avatar in your line of credit where you're like, yeah, there's nothing I can do for you? Because the person who's already in jail, and you know,
even those people could be helped.
So who? I mean, is there any limitation to what you guys can or cannot, or it's like a case by case
basis? If you didn't operate with clean hands and faith and honor, then that's the only real time I can't help you.
Okay.
Because let's just say you bought a car 3 months ago and you ain't made no payment. You didn't even try. It's nothing I can do. You didn't operate. Like, you breached the well, I won't say you breached the contract because they breached the contract from the jump, but you don't know that because you haven't talked to me, but you didn't even try.
So in the case that, like, I got money, I just chose to blow it in the club and not pay my bills.
Hey, look, yo, what I said earlier, your emergency is not my urgency.
Yeah.
If I can't build out the case or do it the way I want to do it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to put more stress on myself just because you want this done. Like, I have people be like, I'll give you $100 grand to do it. No.
If you have $100 grand, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Like, it don't make sense. Like, some stuff just don't make sense. And people think a lot of people are moved by money. And I try to tell people all the time, like, me just being transparent, my God, that was a kingpin. He was at the top of a 52-man indictment. I watched him operate his operation for almost 8 years as a kid, not knowing what I'm watching. But I saw this man never do his own product. He went to jail. He did his time. He came home. Now he balling. He's living a good life. Got a new business. Married, out the way. Not bothering nobody. And one of the biggest things I asked him when he came home, because I helped him get himself together when he came home, was I said, when you sat down in he went to jail in 08. I was just starting high school. I said, when you sat down, what was the biggest regret you had? He said, the biggest regret I had was trying to take everybody with me, because his own uncle told on him. He said, the biggest regret I had was trying to take everybody with me. He said, you're starting to see success. Don't try to take everybody with you. You can't. He's like,
it's going to eat you inside out and empty your bank account.
So you're going to have sleepless nights. You're going to be broke. You're going to be like, damn, I helped this person. Then in your time of need, they nowhere to be found. Well, I tell you, they're going to be like, damn, I'm going to pray for you. You know what? After I gave you X, it don't work like that. So before my grandpa passed, he used to say, he was a pastor, and these were his exact words, even though he was a pastor. He said, a giver never gonna stop giving, and a taker damn sure ain't gonna never stop taking. Mm-hmm. You can help somebody a million times, but if they never learn their lesson within that struggle or within that situation, it's gonna happen again. It's just gonna happen in a different way.
Yeah.
So having those conversations and really understanding, like, sometimes you get a second chance. Like, he sat down from what, 08 to actually pretty much 06 to 2020. That's what, 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And he literally said the biggest thing was he tried to take everybody with him. Everybody he grew up with, he tried to take with him. 52-man indictment, you supposed to spend the rest of your life in prison. But you got out, and you got a second chance at life. You know what I'm saying? So having those conversations and really understanding, like, I'm big on integrity and morals. I done seen a lot of money. I have friends who are in the NFL, in the NBA. Like, I have clients who, like, so the whole people throwing money at me, it never really motivated me because of the simple fact of that shit can come and go. I could be up today.
And it will.
Yeah, I'll be up today and down tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if I can't stand on business and people know, oh, hey, you can do this. If you go holler at him and bring him 50 racks, he go, nah, fuck that. Because that money comes with a price that I'm not willing to pay. Mm-hmm. I like the life I live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Peaceful, in my bag, out the way, minding my business, not bothering no damn body.
Yep. No, I dig it. Let's talk about collection agencies. You mentioned earlier today they're essentially just like the mafia back then, the Don Corleone, Godfather coming after you. I pay attention.
That's what it is.
The Godfather coming after you and just extorting your money. In a political, peaceful. Hey, I'm gonna protect you, but I'm gonna take 25% from this point forward. Right? Like, you gonna give it to me, or you gonna give it to me? So. Elaborate on that in a way that the general population can understand the analogy.
So when I said the Godfather analogy, most people have seen the Godfather. Most people have seen Scarface. You got a business. I come into your business and say, hey, Ali, I'm going to protect you from everything that's going on out here.
Which is really not going on.
Right. But you're going to pay me this much. It's the same thing with third-party debt collection agencies. They operate off of people's ignorance. We'll just say I had a medical bill. They bought my medical bill. They'll call me and say, hey, Jamaree, we got this account that showed up on our desk today for $1,200 from Piedmont Medical or wherever medical. How do you plan on paying it? The first thing I'm going to tell them is cease and desist and do not never call me again, because I do not have a contract with you and I do not want to contract with you. And
cease and desist has to be in written form?
Well, it can be a written form or verbal.
So you can say
a phone call is a dispute. If I call you and say, hey, Ali, how much do I owe you? Or what is this account? That's a form of dispute. So therefore, they must update the credit report. They never do.
Okay.
So boom, I got you right there. Now, also, if I sent you, we'll just say a debt validation letter. I'm gonna request chain of custody, full accounting records.
What signature?
My contract with you, my
We watch a lot of that stuff on Instagram. Yeah. Everybody says that, but it's like which one is the legit? And
so it's like even that. I'd be like, if somebody said on Instagram, you reach out and tell them to show you. Tell them to show you where they've done it. I have countless cases, countless testimonials. It's like, this is what we do. You dig what I'm saying? So when they do that and we reach out and ask for that stuff, most of the time they're just going to send back some billing statements. They never send back exactly what I asked for. So when they don't send me back what I asked for, I go through what I asked them for. I say, I'll do another complaint. Hey, I asked you for this, and this. You didn't supply any of this. I need it within 10 business days. If not, this is my intent to sue. Now I'm going to get you for not updating that credit report because you didn't update that I called in and disputed. I know you didn't do that. So now I'm going to hit you with multiple claims, not just FDCPA, some FCRA when it's dealing with the credit report. And now not only, like I said, I'm going to demand a jury trial. I want the jury to hear this. I want this to be public. We're going to do this in front of everybody.
And they don't want their name on documented.
What does it look like if you're an attorney and you lose to somebody who's representing themselves?
Yeah.
How does that look?
Yeah. And
so
then
they're going to call and be like, hey, what can we do to settle this? They're like, oh, well, we'll delete the account, but we're not paying any money. Okay, cool. That's not what I asked you for. I'll see you in court.
Because now you have leverage.
Yeah. But most people don't know they have leverage. They get the call and be like, oh, my God, they're trying to settle with me. I'm going to just take it. No. That's why my clients will be like, hey, so-and-so called. What do I say? And, well, what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, it seems like collection agencies are probably 80% of the headache for people when it comes to financial stress. Like those are like
collection and charge,
like an hourly call, right? You know, I remember, my wife, used to say, I'm like, they're calling to say good morning, babe. Like babe. They're coming to check, calling to make sure that you had your snag. You know, like it was a joke that we would say. It's fascinating how if the majority of the people, and I pray to God, whomever is listening and watching, would visit your website, because from what I understand, you work with everybody. From what I understand, you figure it out whether you got upfront money or not to make it work somehow, some way. And please confirm that's the case. I'm not trying to help.
Yeah, no, that's the case because at the end of the day, I mean, a 15-minute conversation can lead to something totally different. You get what I'm saying? Like people be like, oh, I don't have the money. But you didn't even try to book the consultation. You might have something that I need. And that's just me. I know everybody say, oh, everybody's not my client. That's correct. But there are certain people that you can run into that might change your situation. And then we're not even talking about a monetary thing. We're talking about value from different service for service or value in different areas. I'd have had people reach out to me that run multi-million-dollar companies. They just have an issue with a certain thing that's not their field house. So cool, teach me what you know. Or how can I be an asset to you so that therefore I can learn what you know? So now that's when the conversations change. That's when I'm in rooms with people who certain people will never be in rooms with because you say, oh, like you never know who somebody knows.
And that's the truth, but that's a fundamental of anything. I mean, what do you got to lose to ask?
Yeah,
hey man, 15 minutes, let me know, AZ. And the worst thing that usually happens,
ego get in the way.
Right, yeah, like the worst thing that you can do is nothing at all. So you mentioned earlier that you're recording some modules or courses. Is it about this very same
concept? So tell us more. So the last
breaking news.
This is breaking
news, ladies and gentlemen.
This is breaking news. So the last 3 years, everybody, your mentorship. I want mentorship. I want to learn this. I want somebody to help me and guide me through the way. And I tell people, I don't know everything, but what I got, I'll give you. So
this is for people who want to follow your lead to do what you're doing.
Correct. So working on a mentorship, gonna teach business structure. I'm gonna give them everything I got, even the things I learned from the Jews about how to set it up and run it the right way. Gonna give them the personal credit stuff. Everybody's selling that, but everybody has something different as far as strategy, understanding that business credit and how to actually utilize it. Because a lot of people get personal credit or get business credit, but they have no income producing assets. So you got all this credit and you just start spending it, and then boom, now you got payments. Now you back in.
No, the asset just became a liability.
Right. So now you back in. So helping people, because think about it, everybody's creative. But again, what I said earlier, some people know how to plan and some people just know how to execute. So I'm going to figure out which one you are. And once I figure out based off what you like and what you want to do, that's what you're going to do. I'm going to give you the blueprint, put you in front of my resources, give you all my resources, and then after that, it's on you. But if I can help you from day one with everything already given, all you got to do is execute, people are going to take that.
One thing that I would say, and I see it in my industry as well, you talk about ego. I think people have been beaten and burned and hurt so many times that mentally it's like that person who stops going to church just because they're like, yeah, I'm so far on the other side of sin that I don't. You're like, yeah, and I think a simple reach out, phone call, private DM, right? Like as simple as that. Like, yo, I'm embarrassed, man. I've been going through some stuff. I'm hoping you can just guide me the right way.
I've had those conversations.
I bet. And usually the people who need the most help, like shit, I told you earlier, like everybody's watching on social media, like 160 grand that we got hit by in hires this year. We had close to $60,000 of unpaid billable hours because everybody got caught with economy. And then guess what?
I had to eat it.
Like, do I pay Ali or do I pay my mortgage? You know, and so far, you know, you're looking at like 220K, and a lot else that goes along with that, right? So we've been talking about it. Like Rich and I had a shitty year.
Yeah.
You know, like from
But Ali, it's not just you, bro. A lot of people had a shitty year. This was a shitty economy year,
and that's what I'm getting at. If you just humble yourself and just be like, yo, like me and you have to have a conversation, like, because we've had a shitty year, you know, and we may be the superheroes that wear the cape and no matter what I can take the bullet, but our spouses cannot have that strong. And you go home to a crying wife, and you go home to, hey, dad, mom, you know, last year we said we were gonna go on vacation, and he hit the microphone. Rich, that was the official one. That is not me, Rich. That is.
He wants to pass the buck.
Yes.
My bad.
You got instant replay, Rich.
My bad.
My hands were here. But you understand what I'm getting. Like you may play the superhero card and say like, I got this, I'm good. But the people around you are suffering because of your ego. Right. So humble yourself, and you know, just
so I don't use humble because of the definition. It means to lower one's importance for everybody else around.
Interesting.
I use grounded. You can ground yourself and say, hey, bro, I need help. How can you help me?
Yeah.
Or, like, I have mentors, but there are people that I reach out to and be like, hey, what you think about this? Let me bounce this off you real quick. Yeah. Granted, I already know that I'm going to do it, but I want another set of eyes that is operating at a high level to understand it. Like, one of my mentors, Lily, I prayed to God because I felt like I was getting stagnant. I felt like I was getting complacent. And I said, God, I trust you. I know I don't know where you're leading me, but take me wherever you want to go. And literally 30 minutes after that, one of my mentors texted me and said, yo, are you using X, Y, and Z? I said, nah, I probably should be, but I'm not. He called me immediately. We had a 15-minute conversation. He said, whatever you need, I got you. That's what he said. And he's been in this industry since the early 2000s. So I was like, okay. I said, all right, God, I hear you. So I hit him back. I was like, all right, cool. We're going to work. So you got to be able to ground yourself to say, hey, I'm not in a good situation. I need help. Help me develop a plan. Help me figure out. Because the issue with, like I said, the issue with a lot of people is they just don't know what to do.
And I think...
And I agree with you. It comes from that place of fear, like, I don't want to make the wrong decision. Well, shit, if you don't make no decision, you're
already making the wrong decision.
It's dead.
Yeah. And I think also we tend to fall into the trap of, well, I got cash in my bank account now, therefore I'm probably doing okay.
That shit gonna be gone.
But it's not even that. I mean, if you were to remove all the things that are still those little viruses in your history, credit or repos or whatever, or you knew how to handle it, how much more can you actually be doing where your cash now is a workable asset and your credit is much better and you can get a line of credit and you can just do so much more from a financial perspective.
And people don't understand that. So
and that's what I'm getting at,
I have a lot of conversations with, people who will just say aren't operating morally. And they be like, can you help me? And the biggest thing I tell them, I said, I want to help you, but my fear is I help you and you stay doing exactly what you're doing.
What would you? I'm going to ask you the same question that you mentioned earlier. What is your biggest regret in the last whatever professional years that you've had?
Not doing what I do now earlier. You never, because you feel like.
Well, did you know about such thing existed and you just chose to not dive into it, or?
Because I was trying to figure it out, like in my, we'll just say 18, 19, before I like quit corporate, like before I figured it out, I allowed myself to self-sabotage and to like just be.
You were kind of going anywhere, everywhere.
I was being a victim of my own circumstances because I was trying to figure it out. I knew I hated corporate, so I used to find every single excuse not to go to work. Every single excuse. So I was like, nah, this shit can't be the be all end all. And I remember like doing fix and flips and doing different stuff with my grandpa. He kept telling me, he said, yo, you got all the tools you need. You just scared to jump out the porch. He's like, you either going to jump out the porch and sink, or you're going to jump out the porch and swim. But until you jump out the porch, you don't know what's going to happen. So he passed away September 11th, 2020. Rest his soul, RIP. And when he passed, I said, all right, cool. I said, that's it. I said, I'm done. And I was already planning my exit. So I think I started in corporate 2016. So from 2016 to 2019, you can ask my friends, you can ask people on live. I didn't go out. People saw me out barely once, twice. And I was reading, I was in the books, I was studying. I was like, I gotta figure this out.
I asked you an interesting question earlier, though. The answer was 15 seconds. There was a reason for that. I follow you on social media, and I see a lot of what you do. Other than educational, a little bit of lifestyle, showing like that. Hey, I'm doing good to inspire and motivate. I don't recall anything with you popping bottles. Mm-mm. I don't recall anything with you, showing bling or anything like
it. From having the conversations over the last 3 years with the Jewish community, I understand. Well, we the broke people wear their wealth. That's the biggest thing. Broke people wear their wealth more than rich people. So it's okay to have a nice watch, a little bit. It's okay, but I don't have to do that in every single thing that I do, because now I'm not trying to help you. I'm trying to sell you on what I have. It's cool to have those things, but I need to have everything else in place too. I need to have life insurance on myself, on my parents. I need to have a trust. I need to have checks and balances, understanding what is my fixed income, what is my I need to have all that shit lined up, but all the other shit is extra. That shit is extra.
Who cares about a Gucci underwear?
Like, but you gotta think too, Ali. Like, you gotta think, what does society push? And I talk about this all the time.
That I know.
They push sex.
Yeah.
They push drugs, alcohol, rap, and entertainment. So that's what, in my community, that's people think that's the 5 ways they're gonna get out. No. I heard an interview, and this dude said, I was looking at all these people that were successful and like, yo, those are my idols, but my idol really lived next door. His name was Mr. Phil. Mr. Phil raised a family. He died. He left his kids businesses. They had money. He had life insurance policies. His wife lived good. After the funeral, when he went to go show his condolences, he asked the wife how she was doing. She said, I'm good. She said, Phil did everything he needed to for us. Those the heroes. Those are the unsung heroes. But he didn't have a Lambo. He wasn't wearing jewelry every day. He went to work every day. He built something sustainable for the next generation to take, because he understood his assignment. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. I understand my assignment. So I don't give a damn how I look to nobody. People, you got a pickup truck. My pickup truck paid off. It's mine.
Same thing. People make fun of. We just do you have a JOB?
I got a 2021 GMC Sierra. It's mine.
Bro, I tell everybody, like especially in the network marketing scene, they make fun of jobs, right? JOB. I'm like,
there are millionaires that work a 9 to 5,
and I tell them that JOB pays more than 99% of the people who are in network marketing, and you're insulting those who you want to recruit in the first place.
It's insane. Like, it's insane. I can't fuck with it.
One last question, then we're gonna hop into a commercial break. I ask you about your biggest regret. I will ask about what would you consider your biggest mistake in your professional career?
So being competitive.
Well,
I can tell you. No. Being competitive. I don't like politics. So there were situations in corporate that I probably could have handled way better. I'm big on asking why. I don't care if you're the boss.
But I'm a little confused about what you answered. So you see being competitive, because we mentioned earlier the competitive nature of you is a good thing that pushed you, right?
Right.
So what do you mean about being competitive? Like not handling certain politics situations, the right way? Yeah. Like you approached it the wrong way because you were too competitive?
So there was an instance when I was...
is this incident going to be followed by an apology in front of the camera or middle finger?
I ain't apologizing. I ain't apologizing for nothing. It is what it is. It was a situation where I had a manager and he didn't do nothing. Yeah. He did nothing. It was like, so
use and abuse.
Yeah. So I kind of just asked him. I said, the type of leadership I'm looking for is not the type of leadership that you're providing. So let's have a man-to-man conversation. And at this point, I'm a young adult, so I understand what good leadership looks like, what bad leadership. I had good leadership, and I've had bad leadership from
it's usually easy to spot if you're the right person.
So when I said it, he got offended, and I said, don't take offense to it. I'm just trying to understand your your
approach
to success and how to continue to move up the corporate ladder. And he said, I don't like the way you coming at me. I said, why not? I said, all I did was ask you a question. I said, I didn't say it disrespectfully or anything. He's like, it's questions like that as the reason why you can't get ahead. You will never get ahead. And I said, so it's questions like that you can't answer because you feel like I'm attacking you and your ego is hurt rather than just saying, hey, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? So the conversation didn't go exactly like that. It kind of got a little heated. He wanted to beat his chest a little bit. And I was like, shit, what's up? We can go outside. Like, I don't care to this corporate. At the end of the day, you a grown man, I'm a grown man. You're not about the little boy me. So, there have been situations that I probably could have took better. And, when people see that you're quiet and you really mind your business, those are the people that people want to play with the most. And it's like, don't poke a sleeping bear. Don't do that. Just because I'm quiet and I'm respectable, don't play with me. Like, you don't know who I know. You don't know me. You dig what I'm saying? You don't know what I've been through.
It might be nice, but I will Will Smith your ass real quick.
You don't know nothing. So it's like, it just be those type of situations. So there were a couple that I can think of with elderly black men that I probably could have handled a little bit better, but again,
like on a softer, subtle approach.
Yeah. Okay, like just some of the words I might use. And I grew up in a house full of women, so I got a smart mouth. Like if you can dish it, I could dish it too.
I get it.
So
I get it, my guy. We're going to take a little break. After we come back, we're going to dive into the future, the vision, and what we are anticipating from the next phase of all things Jamaree James. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jamaree here. Listen, are you one of the individuals in an underrepresented community, or you operate in a business and you feel like you just don't know what to do? You're struggling financially. You can't seem to scale. You can't seem to get your credit together. You can't do anything to help get you out of the rat race, right? Well, that's what I'm here for. I help underrepresented communities and businesses understand what is their problem as to why they can't scale and what can they be done with their financial situation when it comes to their credit, right? Having conversations with the elderly, having conversations with middle class, having conversations with people who own businesses and people who just have never been keen to the financial information, and being able to help them create a plan, a strategic plan, a financial plan to, number one, get out of debt, to number one, get some passive income, to number two, allow yourself to just breathe a little bit, whether that be in business or whether that be in your personal everyday life. If this is you, please reach out to me at jamareejames.com and we'll have a conversation. I look forward to speaking to you soon.
All right, welcome back. Ali Madawi in here. I'm telling you, you got to go to jamareejames.com. We are in the ME studios. We've had literally hours worth of work together so far today, and I'm grateful, and I want to just put this on the record. You spent some quality time with my mother and my father earlier.
Beautiful.
I appreciate you for that, because mom and dad don't listen to their boy, but you cannot be a prophet in your own town. And sometimes those conversations come better from someone else as they perceive as or understand to be a professional. I'm getting text messages and phone calls. Don't forget me. Like, my mother's singing you praises, and you're like, I've been praying about somebody who knows their stuff. I'm like, I just been with you my whole entire life, but all right, Jamaree does it. No, but it is needed.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes people need an outside ear. Even myself, like you gotta see things because you only can see things from your point of view.
100%. Even Jordan said it. He goes like, he would have never won 6 rings without Phil Jackson.
That's Scottie Pippen.
And well, that too. Yeah. So let me get into what's next. I mean, I know you established yourself within the last 3 to 4 years in this space right now. I know you're about to launch modules and mentorship programs. I know that you're, I'm assuming, expanding and growing because you're not just in the state of Georgia, but you operate the whole United States. So are you anticipating to open physical spaces? Are you anticipating to build a sales force, account executives? What is next for Jamaree James?
No physical space is gonna stay the way it is. Yep. I have, obviously we talked about the mentorship, gonna drop the mentorship coming soon. Haven't put a date on it, but the modules are pretty much almost done. As far as expansion, the biggest thing for me is really just building group economics.
So like an incubator style,
like an incubator style.
What would you like to have in the incubator? Like, are you
people who want to work,
adding opportunities for an exclusive group?
So understanding and seeing how groups that operate on a higher level than us operate, I'm going to create the same thing. So there are groups where you have, like, for instance, I got a friend that's in a group. He pays like $9,800 every 3 months for this group. But within this group, there are about 10,000 people. They all
$9,800 every single
partner and JV on different projects.
Think about that. 10,000 people who are putting $9,800 every 90 days.
Yeah, that dude is getting paid. The person who owns it. But anyway, think about it. If I have a deal, or if I find a good, we'll just say real estate
property.
deal.
I was going to say that's usually the very first show in incubators.
And it costs $1 million, and 10 people go in. We all pay $100,000. Right? We get the building. We can flip it. We can go and grab 3 or 4 or 5 more. Package that portfolio up, sell it to the bank. Not everybody gonna flip their $100,000 to $1 million a piece. So just doing stuff like that, because that's gonna be the biggest way for us to get ahead and quick. And people are doing it every single day, but they're quiet because I don't know why they're quiet, but I know the gift God gave me. I got the gift of God, 100%.
Yeah,
and I can help people, and understanding how to structure it, understanding and being around higher level operating people and see how they do it, and being able to have direct access to ask them questions. Hey, if I did this, what should it look like? And I've already been given a whole blueprint of what it should look like. Now it's just a matter of getting around people who want to do it and do it for the right reason. So that's the biggest piece. That's why I say incubator style, because it's not going to be because everybody don't have good intentions. Everybody don't have good intentions. Some people just see you, Ali, and say, "Oh, Ali can make me a lot of money."
That's
you know what I'm saying?
So you see that look Rich just gave me right there?
Oh, I'm sure y'all.
He's the gatekeeper. No, it's not even that. No, it's the last year or so it has been take equity in my company and get an override and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm comfortable in that for the most part. Like, I can build a network, I can build a sales force. Right. What usually happens, I would ignore what is ours for the sake of like, hey, there's an opportunity, we can do X, Y, and Z. And he would always be like, bro, you got to build our house. Like, why are we building everybody else's stuff to get 10% off what they're making? Right. You know, so. And that's how I look at it. I look at instead of me going and joining another group and paying $9,800, I can build the same thing. And I have people who are doing it at a high level, making investments at $20 million. Like, I've never seen nobody's. I've been on Zoom calls and they look like, oh yeah, this investment is going to require $20 million. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. And I'm like, what? Like, hold up, wait. Like, so just understanding that those opportunities are out there. You gotta get around the right people. You gotta know, like you said, that community. I'm not gonna name them. They said they do everything for God. That's why they all work together, because they know Ali's not trying to snake me. Ali's not trying to do this just to, because they'll do one investment and then boom, they done took the extra $900,000 and bought $1 million crib, and you're like, what are you doing? That was for you to help put your family in a better situation. Not go buy $1 million crib. No, your priority got to be right. Well, in terms, you mentioned God and spirituality a couple of times. Talk to me about your relationship with God and what is that? Because it's different for different individuals. There's the churchgoer who's promoting, every single time on social media that they're the true, evangelists. And then there's the person who really doesn't say much, but they actually have a very healthy relationship.
So my grandpa was a pastor, and my mother's mom was heavily in the church. One of the biggest things she told me when I was in high school, she said, you got to find God for you.
So what does that look like?
So it's building your own personal relationship with God, not just when you pray. I sit in the car and I'll talk to God. Yeah, I'll just, hey God, listen, I'm not even feeling good today. Like, give me the strength. So really having built your own personal relationship with God outside the church, what does that look like? Most people can't tell you what that look like because they don't do it. They only do it when they lay down at night and get on their knees and pray. Nah,
because that's like a transactional, habitual thing.
I don't want transactional. I want to be connected to the source. So if God be the source, then I'm the plug.
And like there's when you tell people like I'm one of them. Like I'm not the guy who would go to church. Like I would go to church every single Sunday, but you won't find me like
yeah.
I'm not that. I'm like leave me in my corner. At the same exact time, take me and my wife to a concert, I am acting a fool, right? So
you can't base it on how your performance in church, because your relationship with God is not performance based.
That's what I'm getting in that. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is there are some people who would hear what you said right now. Like, I used to struggle with that. I'll tell you, I've talked about it endless times. Rich is probably tired of this. I used to think, how cocky and arrogant of me to think that I have the ability to communicate with God.
But you do.
But that was a self-worth issue that I was lacking, right? And then immediately after that, I start realizing, I am talking to ChatGPT, Alexa, Siri, and Google every single day. Like, hey, what's the weather today? And I would listen, like, hey, can you show me where I can get this? Hey, like, and having a full conversation. But then I don't put that effort.
So my grandpa used to say something about that too. He said a lot of people don't pray to God because they don't hear him talking back.
Yeah.
And
that's
the issue. Yeah. But if you think about it, the teacher's silent during the test.
Yeah.
What you going through? Are you praying just to get your prayer answer right then and there, or are you actually coming to him to have a real conversation? Because when I come to talk to him, I'm laying it all out. Listen, this was going on. I know you say, I know for a fact you can't have faith and worry, so I'm giving it to you, and whatever happens, happens. People are like, why are you so laid back? Why are you so chill? Why are you so nonchalant? And it's like, I'm not nonchalant, but I have no control over the situation, so I'm not giving it any power. It is what it is. I'm going to let God handle it now. I'm cool. Now, there are situations where I want to get my get back, but then it's just like, it ain't even worth it. Because we're human at the end of the day. But
we are, and that's the weakness thing. Bro, I struggle. We've had Reverend, shout out to Reverend AKA Aim, who was here literally, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday night in that very same chair. And we had this conversation, and I just told him straight up, I'm like, sometimes we think I either have to be perfect or I am not.
No.
But it's a moment by moment, day by day, hour by hour.
You get 1% better every single day.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I think about things that I struggled with last month, and I'm like, all right, cool. That's going to be my focus for this month. Because we all got weaknesses, but just think about, I look at it like this. If I know my weaknesses, everybody know their internal weaknesses, whether they try to hide it, with how they change their appearance, women, men, you still struggle with something internally.
Yeah.
So if I know I struggle with confidence, what am I doing to build my confidence of self every single day? I can pick one thing every single day to do in 30 days. I might be a brand new person.
100%.
So it's just really being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, all right, cool, these are my issues. And saying I'm dedicated and I'm committed to God helping me through this and not worrying about it. But make sure I'm doing the work, because faith without works is dead. Make sure I'm doing the work that I need to do too. And that's really the issue. Like you said, people feel like they either got to be perfect or they're not going to do nothing at all.
And that's a fallacy.
Who told you that?
Can I tell you? I'll ask you that. There's a lot of people who don't have healthy faith who would say, well, I'm a human being, or even the idea, well, we were born a sinner, we will die a sinner, and you use that as justification. And I'm telling you this, Dr. Stan Harris, aka Dr. Breakthrough, he's a spiritual mentor of ours, and he would say you've been listening to the wrong reverend or the wrong pastor, who are more about the show and the gimmick and like making you feel like you're small and you're worthless, but in reality, God never sees you small or worthless. Like you're worth it.
You're created in His image,
and that's the thing that most of us forget sometimes. Or in my case, I used to look at it as arrogance. Like, how could I accept to compare myself to God, to Creator?
But I look at it like this. It's not really a comparison. It's like I'm creating His image, but it also says that we're perfectly imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
So everything, people be like, oh, I'm awkward. Like, okay, that's what makes you. That's what makes you you.
Yeah.
And you got to hone what makes you and make the best of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
what makes me is I have a big penis.
I'm weak. Your wife, hey, Rich, his wife gonna kill him. She gonna kill him. She'll take a butt on the show. She gonna knock your head off. She's probably watching right now.
That's just a metaphor for his big head.
That's for my big head. Yes. I'm prepared for a comedy show, so I'm trying to come up with the. Hey, so look, Obviously, we're expecting a lot from financial consultations, business consultation, mentorship, and helping a lot of people get out of the stress. I think that's the main thing. Do you understand that stress is an actual hormone that releases from your brain, and it eats your protein out of your DNA, which makes you protein deficient. When you are protein deficient, your immune system is weak. When your immune system is weak, you're getting sick. So it's important to remove that stress. And the number one cause in the United States of stress is
money.
Money. Ali, my man right here can help.
I have this conversation with people all the time because they be like, "Oh, I'm stressed. I got married and now we broke." I'm like, "Well, what was your reason for getting married?" And most dudes be like, "Well, we had a kid." Okay, well then maybe you should have thought about having a kid before you got married. Maybe you should have thought about, and this is just my perspective, maybe you should have thought about getting to a secure financial space before you have kids. Or if you know, hey, this is not somebody I'll build my life with, wear protection. Like at this point, we all adults. And I ain't no kid. Nobody on here a kid. Like, we gotta start having the real conversations. Some people date people. Like, I have conversations with people, and I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm dating this person, but I don't really know about them. Then why are you wasting the time? You wasting your own time. And people be stressed in relationships. Like, bro, just move on. Like, let it go and go find yourself. You let it go. Yeah. Or I don't say homeboys, but I have dudes who hit me up like, yeah, bro, I'm dating this girl. She don't support my dreams. And I'm like, yo, I'm not telling you to leave her, but if you don't think this is somebody you want to be with for the rest of your life, you do yourself a favor and move on now. Or don't even move on. Because eventually later, it's going to get even uglier. Yeah, and then you're going to start regretting, or even women, you're going to start regretting. You're going to start hating that person. It's like, it should never get to that.
I got a family member who was like that. And
you told me.
He was like that, and he did not want to be with the person that he is with,
which is insane to me.
They ended up having a child after that. After he said, like, no, you know what? Well, what happened is the female said, like, I want babies, and he said, nope, I don't want no babies. Yeah. And he was like, you know what? If that's the way you think, I'm out. In the matter of a month and a half that they weren't talking, the phone call comes like, hey, I'm actually pregnant, and it's yours. And he wanted nothing to do with that child, with the pregnancy. Right. He didn't even go in the birth. And I was like, what if it's your child? You're going to regret that. Nah, I don't care, bro. I don't want to get emotionally attached. Well, guess what? DNA, the very next morning, it was his child. So now there's this awkward...
Yeah, now you got to try to figure it out with somebody that you already said you don't want to be with. So that like, we as people gotta make better decisions.
And this applies to everything, really. Financials, it applies to all things. Hey, listen, we are coming to the end of this podcast. Although me and you can probably do this for hours straight. Do me a favor, check out that view right there. There is that one person who is still, no matter what right now, looking at you and saying, but you don't understand my situation. I need you to talk to that person. Why they need to hit you up right away for whatever the case may be, whether it's collections, whether it's repos, or everything that we talked about. Talk to the people, give them some final thoughts, final remarks, motivate me. Let's go.
To the person who says that I just don't understand, you're absolutely correct. I don't understand, and I'll never understand if we don't have a conversation. Right? I'll never understand. So people who tell people, oh, you just don't understand, I feel like you become a victim of your own circumstances. You become a victim of your own circumstances because you're sitting and operating in a space that you're not happy with. You might be depressed. You might be suicidal. I hope, God, I pray to God nobody's suicidal. But if you sit and you dwell in that fear, as Ali stated, and it's eating you alive, that's even more of a reason to have the conversation. I had a young man tell me, I asked him, just broke up with his girl. They got a kid together, and I asked him, I said, how you feel? I said, you hit rock bottom? He said, yeah. I said, good. He said, why is that good? I said, because the only place you can go is up. The only thing you can do is change your situation. You are now getting an opportunity at a restart at life. And I won't say a restart, at a different situation, a different outcome. So we got to be able to take our outcome or our circumstances and turn it into a win. It's people who are homeless that are millionaires now. It's people who come from, no mama, no daddy, not having any support, and they take that situation and they body it. So the only thing that's stopping you is you. So if you want to be a victim of your circumstances, be my guest. But at the end of the day gonna end, and tomorrow you're gonna feel the same exact way if you don't do nothing about it. So that's really what I got. Hey man, I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. This was definitely not only the beginning for something great. I have a lot that is twirling in my head.
Yeah, me too.
I love the fact that you got a mentorship program. I want to talk to you about how I can help you spread that all over.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the fact that, by the way, my brain went even higher. I'm pitching some things to you right now. Seminars, retreats, and we got the team to organize and monetize and make it an experience for everyone. We co-own a travel company, so there's a lot that can be done, and a lot that I would like to talk to you about.
Yeah, we gonna work.
And I'm just grateful that you've taken flight all the way down here today.
I'm honored for the opportunity.
It's been a freaking amazing day.
To talk to your mom and your dad, now I see why you are the way you are. But those conversations are needed because sometimes, like I said, like, you don't know what you don't know.
Oh yeah, facts. And everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
They were supposed to come early in the morning,
and the flight got delayed.
And everybody that was supposed to be in the morning couldn't make the afternoon. And who ended up in that room by themselves with you?
Your parents.
And it was the most private, personal conversation. So
those are the best conversations, the private, where people can actually lay out
the reality of their circumstances.
And that's why I tell you, just book the consultation. Let's have a conversation, because now we can talk about what your issue is and you don't feel judged or at the end of the day, everybody go through shit.
No, I was whispering to my mother the whole time. She's like, I don't want to make you look bad. I'm like, nah, you're not going to make me look bad. You didn't listen to me for the last 8 years straight. Like, you never made me look bad. But guess what? This is somebody who I know can speak to your circumstance professionally. So ask whatever questions that you have. And I'm sure either they are holding hands right now and motivated, or they're fighting about the fact that one did not tell the other about a car co-signed.
Yeah. Your mom, when you asked her and your dad looked at her,
he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you gotta tell him. Don't tell me you didn't tell him.
But how can we be in a relationship, or how can we be married if we not talking about finances? Are we not talking about what's going on?
And immediately after we come out of the conference room, my mother asked my dad, like, where you going? He's like, my new office. She's like, you got a new office?
I was like, I said, here we go again.
Both ways.
Sorry, yeah.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaree James was in the building, officially in the ME studios, not only the first time, but absolutely not the last. Make sure you visit JamareeJames.com. Yeah. Make sure you check out the copy. We're going to put his social media. We're going to put all his websites and all the assets that he is to be sharing with us. And remember, for anybody who gets a consultation, just a 15-minute call with Jamaree, not only that's the best thing that can ever happen to you, but if Jamaree lets me know, hey, I got somebody that we just helped, they're in a better financial space, we're going to send you on a 4-night, 5-day vacation to Mexico, all inclusive. You gotta go, yes.
Oh, shoot.
Yes. We got lodging, we got food, and we got drinks all covered for you. You just gotta cover your taxes, and whenever you're ready, you cover your flights. So food, drinks, and lodging, it's a value truly, genuinely $3,000 because it's 4 nights. You can look it up, and yeah, we're definitely hooking you up. But anybody who you tell me, hey, this person we just worked with, because I don't want to send somebody to Mexico if their money is not right. No. You don't deserve it. Get your money right, get everything appropriate, and yes, we will cover it for you. As long as my man right here says, hey, first name, last name, email, please send him a vacation, we absolutely will take care of you. And that's our commitment to your commitment to making sure that your financial assets are in the right place, or your financial ass for that matter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ali Madawi, Jamaree James, and Rich Tomes from the ME Studios. We appreciate it. Thank you. Until next time, peace out, everybody.
Cheers.
Hey, this is Jamaree here. Listen, are you one of the individuals in an underrepresented community, or you operate in a business and you feel like you just don't know what to do? You're struggling financially, you can't seem to scale, you can't seem to get your credit together, you can't do anything to help get you out of the rat race, right? Well, that's what I'm here for. I help underrepresented communities and businesses understand what is their problem as to why they can't scale, and what can they be done with their financial situation when it comes to their credit, right? Having conversations with the elderly, having conversations with middle class, having conversations with people who own businesses and people who just have never been keen to the financial information, and being able to help them create a plan, a strategic plan, a financial plan to, number one, get out of debt, to, number one, get some passive income, to, number two, allow yourself to just breathe a little bit, whether that be in business or whether that be in your personal everyday life. If this is you, please reach out to me at jamareejames.com, and we'll have a conversation. I look forward to speaking to you soon.